A Mayfair Christmas Carol, a Marcia Banks and Buddy Cozy Mysteries novella. Written by Kassandra Lamb. Narrated by Amy Deuchler. Chapter 1. This is crazy. Yeah, it had been my idea to begin with, but it was still crazy. I'd suggested we call a meeting to discuss ways we could promote our small Florida town of Mayfair as a tourist destination. The first few people I'd approached seemed skeptical, but the tide turned when I'd gotten the two matriarchs of the town invested in the idea. Now, one of those matriarchs, the saner of the two I had thought, was right in the middle of the craziness. And the other, the one who normally thrived on crazy ideas, was alternating between staring at the toes of her moccasins and plucking lint from her old brown sweater. The sweater and the footwear were Edna Mayfair's only concessions to the cool evening. Otherwise, she was attired in one of her usual brightly colored and shapeless muumuus. Even Edna's black and white Springer Spaniels, Benny and Bo, were subdued, lying quietly at her feet instead of pestering the people around them for head pats and ear scratches. My own four-legged companion, Buddy, a black lab and Roddy mix, sat beside my chair. My favorite two-legged companion, Will Haynes, had the good sense to stay home, where I now fervently wished I was. Unfortunately, the prominent position of my seat, aisle end of the second row of the Methodist Church's parish hall, would make it difficult for me to unobtrusively slip out. That, and the fact that the woman leading the meeting had ridden to the church with me, kept me in said seat. The noise level in the large room rose a couple of decibels. Warm bodies and heated discussions made the air stuffy. I lifted the weight of my auburn hair off of my neck for a moment. Buddy rested his black chin on my knee and gave me a soulful look. I suspected he wanted to whine, but was too well behaved to do so. Surely the noise was hurting his ears. I was trying to decide how to rein in the chaos when a sharp series of cracks split the air. We all jumped, and the competing conversations died away. Heads turned toward the front of the room, where Sherry Wells had improvised a gavel with a large metal spoon. She smacked it against the wooden table in front of her one more time, and silence reigned. "Before we go any further," she said in a loud schoolmarm voice, "we should vote." Nods and affirmative rumbles around me. "All those in favor..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?